Hello and welcome to the All Around Attributee RN channel, where I'm passionate about helping victims of all ages and all genders overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. Because we believe that by facing the abuse, you will become a survivor, and that will empower you to be able to help victims overcome the fear to become abusers. Over here, we have been coming under the umbrella of Justice for Shanquella Robinson, seeking justice for Shanquella Robinson. We started this journey back in November. This horrible incident took place in October 29th of 2022. And here we are today, May 13th, 2023, and the people say no justice, no nothing, no arrest, no nothing. So we had to take the power by empowering ourselves, joining together to seek high-level diplomatic intervention. And we're going to Washington, D.C. to demand justice for Shanquella Robinson. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm 52 years old and a proud Gen Xer, the proud mother of 3 adult children, 2 XY chromosomes, and 1 XX. And I have over 30 years of nursing experience, so it makes me very loving and very supportive and very caring and very nurturing and all that good stuff. And I'm going to use those qualities, those special powers, to unite people together to support victims, to give a voice to victims who do not have a voice. Because over here, we don't do moments of silence. We do moments of speaking where we speak out the names of victims and we speak out the names of the abusers. Because we have been conditioned to stay silent, to keep quiet, to keep the secrets. The only way to heal is to deal, is to face the abuse and calling it out. We call out the abuse by calling out the names of victims and abusers. So I'm just excited. Thank y'all so much for stopping by here. We're going to have a really special show tonight. We're going to do some updates on the Washington, D.C. March that we're doing. Shanquella's mama had told us back in April, after they said all this, no justice, no nothing, and said we need to go. We continuing on. We continuing on is what mama said. And she said May 19th, Washington, D.C. So I'm just excited that, that's next week. So, and we're going to be lifting our voices. One of the reasons why we're talking today about the importance of women political participation is because when this thing first happened, a lot of people were talking about, we learned about the terms femicide and all these different things about abuse, domestic DV on women, and then Black women in particular. And so we know that Shanquella is a Black woman, and we are standing here together because we know that there's strength in numbers. And we believe that if we use this umbrella of justice for Shanquella Robinson, that we can leverage that power and authority that we are demanding. We can leverage that power and authority to get justice for femicides of the past and to significantly decrease future incidents, because we need to get a voice for women. And that's why I'm encouraging all of us to register to vote. Over 45% of women in this country do not exercise your power utilizing your right to vote. So imagine that's a lot of power that's just left on the table there because women aren't utilizing that. They're not utilizing that. And it's very important that women start to speak up, because we can see that it's been left in the hands of these men. And look where the world is at today. The world is in a place where people are running around here with delusional thinking and injuring people, and this needs to stop. And the only way it's going to stop if we do something different. And that's why I'm supporting Nikki Haley for president. I'm just super excited to be a Gen Xer, because the special thing about we Gen Xers is that we were here before the internet. So we know a thing or two. We know a thing or two about having to rely on reading, writing, and arithmetic. And one of the things that we pride ourselves over here is that we have been sticking to the facts, math and science. And we try our best, although we have been led down a rabbit hole or two. We try our best to stick to the math and science and not get distracted with, bologna sandwiches and stuff. So one of the things that the reason why we're talking about this political stuff is that we found after the FBI said no, that we need to hit them where it hurts in the vote, use our voting power, right? Everyone is in agreement with that. And we see how powerful putting together the energies for everybody to be on the same page. We saw what happened with Budweiser, right? When, they tried to support that Dylan dude person. Trans rights and all this stuff. And people are tired of being bullied and are ready to start to speak up, because that's how we're going to get change, is by speaking and lifting our voice. And thank y'all so much for coming in here. Y'all coming in nicely with the comments. Welcome to the chat, Niall. And that's me there. And Giselle, that's right. So where are we at with our petition? Giselle says, hello, my natural beauty family in the chat. Hello, my beautiful queen. RN, just passing by to show some love to the family. I hit the like button on the way in. Justice for Shanquella. Let's keep it hot. That's right. So over here we do promote our new hashtag, keeping it hot, for Justice for Shanquella, because we know that those were some of Shanquilla's last words. We heard her in the video saying, keep it hot. She gonna keep it hot. So in her memory, and just to let the spirit know that we are continuing to keep it hot until we get justice. And then we still not gonna stop, because there's more people that require justice. All right, so here we go with the petition. This here is the petition that we have been signing since, I want to say, December. We've been signing this petition since December, and currently we are at 42,671 with a goal of 50,000. So one of the things that we did over here was that instead of spreading it out and making multiple petitions to sign with, a few thousand on each one, understanding that there's strength in numbers, and that if we put our energy together on one, it's just more powerful. And also we discovered that a registered voter's voice is more powerful than just, a voice, right? So that's why we're over here knowing that, we're in this country and our voices count. We have to recondition ourselves to know that the glass jar has been removed. There's nothing holding us back. There's nothing holding us back. Not the color of your skin and not your gender. XX or XY got the power to make a change, right? And if we continue to allow the conditions that they've placed on us, then we're not going to be able to move forward. The only way to move forward is to do something different. So women, I need you to register to vote. In the community tab, I've left, the links to places to vote because, like I said, I'm 52 and I know I registered back in the 90s. It was 92 and, everything was on paper then. So I had to go down to the post office and actually, we did cursive writing and stuff, something that they do not teach these young people today, right? And that's the other thing that's so powerful for we Gen Xers that, we are armed with a lot of stuff because we had to really, we rough and tough. We rough and tough. We rough and tough. So I'm gonna drop that link again for the for the votes, where to vote at, and all of that good stuff because it's super important. And sometimes it may be that maybe someone's not familiar or know where they are, where to vote and stuff like that at. So put it all in this nice little bundle. This nice little bundle. If I can find my bundle. I'm looking for my bundle. All right. So in the meantime, thank y'all so much. Please hit the like button on your way in here. And I'm going to grab it from this community. Hit the like button on your way in here. And like I said, if you haven't already, please, where's my voting link at? Here we go. If you haven't already, please register to vote. Register to vote. So here's some links. Wait a minute, that ain't gonna work. Whew, I'm about to have a hot flash here. I'm burning. I'm sweltering, y'all. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. See here. Where is it at? Here we go. Let me read more. Here we go. All right. So places to vote. Here is the thing. Copy. And pasting it over here. So you would just click this link here. God darn, this didn't come out right. It's not going to work. Did it work? I don't know why it's so huge. This thing is not working correctly. Anyway, go over to the community tab and click the link to register to vote. But before this night is over, I definitely will have figured it out. It should be on one of these documents here. But you want to register to vote. Register to vote and lift your voice, right? Because just like Sue Ann Robinson, the attorney for the Robinson family, stated that high-level diplomatic intervention is needed, right? And the only way you're going to be heard is if you use your voice with your vote, right? You're not going to listen if you are not a registered voter. It's going to carry more weight. Just like I said, registered voices is more powerful than unregistered voices. So tonight we're going to have a real treat to actually have a co-host, Nerida. You may have heard of her. It's going to come up. We're going to talk about the benefits of women's voices in registering to vote here. All right, so let me get some comments down here whilst we wait on the people to come in. Giselle says they might give up, but we won't till justice is served. Yes. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I noticed that once after the FBI, Charlotte FBI, said that there wasn't enough evidence, that there were some people that actually got distracted and forgot the video that we saw, where we saw Shanquella receiving the injuries. And what I'll do is let me just go over the differences between, because this is where they're really getting us at, with distracting us with the death certificate and the autopsy. I noticed that a lot of people are stuck on that, that are stuck on that. So, real quick, gonna break down this here. Um, the death certificate versus the autopsy. So, in the beginning, back in, let me just take a little sip of water here. Ooh, thank you. In the beginning, when this thing first happened, the aide said, the police was giving their report that said alcohol poison, cardiac arrest, seizure, and things like that. All right, cool. Um, and then the death certificate came out, which listed the cause of death as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, and no one disagreed with it. So a death certificate is an official document issued by a medical practitioner or coroner that states the details of a person's death. So, death certificate is an official document, just like a birth certificate, a driver's license, a passport. It's an official document that's issued, right? So that's the key word right there. And that's the thing that is the most important. This is the only thing that's the official document and is issued. So Shanquilla's death certificate, the coroner's report, we heard the mom, and the dad say, when they got the coroner's report, it said the severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. So Mexico's autopsy or the FBI's autopsy does not make it, those are distractions. So I want us to make sure we stay focused on this, because an autopsy is a medical examination. So those are the difference. The death certificate is the only one that's an official document. All right. So that's what I wanted to show y'all. All right. So now I'm going to, where is my, Narrator, come back. I was going to bring you up here. Please do that for me. So we're going to have our next co-host come into the stream here. Nerda. Hey, Nerda.
Hey.
All right.
How's everyone?
All right. Everyone is doing well up in here. We are talking about political here. Nerda, let's see here. Tell me, we want to welcome everyone to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be talking about the power of women voting as a political bloc. And like I said, here's Nerda. Some of y'all might know her. She's been part of this All Around Natural Beauty channel since November when we got started here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Like I said, it's great to be here with all of you beauties and beautifuls. Thank you for having me.
Sure. We're really excited to dive into this topic and hear from all of you too in the comments. So, let's get started.
That's right. So, as women, we often feel like our voices are not heard in politics. And I really appreciate the fact that you state that your channel is about having moments of speak. But did you know that we make up half of the population? And we have the power to make a real difference when we come together and vote as a bloc, as a whole, where women can, especially when you mentioned the fact that only 45% of women actually vote. We actually get a chance to share our values and care about issues that are important to us.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we vote as a block, we can push the policies that support equal pay, affordable child care, paid family leave, and access to health care. And also, we could vote to get some of these laws passed, right? We may have to be the voice to get the Shanquella Robinson law passed, right? That's why I'm saying is when we put our voices together, we can vote all this stuff out. You know, they give us the wrong answer. We joining together. We hitting them hard with the votes. All things that directly impact women and families. And the best part is we can hold our elected officials accountable for making progress on these issues. We can hold
Yes,
them accountable.
yes, ma'am, you're so right. And it's not just about politics. It's actually about community and solidarity. When we see other women voting and engaging in the political process,
Yeah.
it inspires. I know that it inspires me to do the same. Like I there are women, Nikki Haley, I'm with you,
Thank you.
that have inspired me. She has stood up to Donald Trump when it wasn't politically correct.
True.
She speaks on true things. And so, yeah, I really appreciate how she is helping to help us move towards a common goal of advancing women's rights and equality.
Yeah. Okay, so before we move on, I just wanted to mention that there is a political candidate, and you mentioned her there for 2024 presidential election, that's coming up, who has been vocal about her support for women's issues. Nikki Haley. For those of you who may not be familiar with Nikki Haley, she is a former governor of South Carolina, and she was for two terms elected. And something I really believe is super significant is that Nikki Haley also was the ambassador to the United Nations, right? So she's that high level diplomatic intervention that Sue Ann Robinson is speaking about. We get somebody like Nikki Haley in the office is going to be a solid voice for us and have experience as the ambassador to the United Nations. She's known for her strong stance on human rights and her vocal opposition to countries like Russia and Iran.
Yeah, and you're so right about that. And while I know that you're not here to just specifically endorse a political candidate, I think it's important that we are informed about the opinions available to us as voters.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get back to the topic at hand, the power of women voting as a block. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments. Y'all getting out there in the comments. What y'all saying out here?
So, what are they saying? And again, guys, don't forget to share this live stream with your friends and family to spread the word about the importance of voting as a political bloc, because especially if you all are going to be meeting, I wish I had the opportunity to meet with you all next week at the march, but I really feel in my spirit and in my soul that we can actually make a difference.
Yeah, I'm gonna go live there too. I'm not sure as far as I'll be able to do what I'm doing here, but I will go live and keep y'all updated. And if possible, what I'd like to do is if we do have some questions and if I'm allowed an opportunity to speak or talk or get in touch with anybody there, get those questions out there, get those questions asked.
That's
So
such a great idea.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're seeing a lot of great comments. Let's see here. We got Diane Nash says, "Hello, RN and beauties. Some of the Cabo Six got hands and feet at a bar in North Carolina Wednesday night." Yep. Yeah, I had heard about that too. So again, that's why we want to do the right thing by being registered voters, because this whole vigilante justice or whatever like that, you could be putting yourself in a position to, just because they didn't arrest the Cabo Six don't mean they're not going to arrest you for doing something like that. So we're just going to be smart and, really have the faith that if we, register to vote, do the actual voting, because if 45% of us women aren't voting, imagine if we tapped into just, 20% of that.
Wow.
That will be felt. Narrative, what did you say?
No, said, wow, that's amazing. You're so correct. I'm piggyback on you.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and some of you are sharing your own experience with voting, and some of you are asking questions about how to get started.
So read some more comments.
Okay, let's see here. JP6 says, Diane, that was beautiful. Okay, so we got other people saying, Ernie is saying justice for Shanquella Robinson. A lot of people are asking for this justice for Shanquella. And let's see, Niles giving some greetings here. Any questions or comments, y'all, for justice for Shanquella? Hey, Karen. Karen says she's waving an emoji that doesn't show up over here. Some more greetings from the people in the chat. Let's see. Karen is more greetings. Thank you, Karen, for greeting everybody. Hey, V, I ain't seen you in a minute. V says hello and happy Mother's Day. I know, it kind of slipped me this year, kind of snuck up on me here, but yes. So yes, this is going to be, Shanquilla's mom's first Mother's Day without, the
Yeah.
daughter. So
Yes, that's heartbreaking. That
yeah,
is really heartbreaking. And the wonderful thing is that I'm excited that you are actually going there. You're getting a group together. Your voices will be heard. And that, again, if we can remember as women to vote as a block and come
yeah,
together and use our voice to make a real difference, we can keep this conversation going, keeping it hot, as you say, for
yeah,
Shanquella. And then also being able to, like you say, be under the umbrella of Shanquella Robinson, to where we can also discuss and help those who are survivors of abuse and of things that are happening to them, that because of where they are politically, their voices aren't being heard.
right, right. Yeah, it's super. It was eye opening for me when I discovered that 45% of women aren't voting, and it just goes to show how we have been oppressed here, women worldwide, and how I became more aware of it, because a lot of times we, especially here in America, are under the false pretense that we, free and we got all these rights and all this stuff. But then when something like this happened, and we get smacked in the face with the reality of, well, you don't have rights. And then if you're not exercising your right to vote, then you really don't. So it's super
Exactly. Yeah.
important. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
may I read a little history?
Sure.
Okay, great. This is something that I brought up. It gives like just a quick overview of the histories of political parties in our country, and I think it also helps for us to be able to understand the power of the political vote.
Okay.
So it says throughout history, political parties have played a critical role in shaping policy and public discourse. They have helped to organize and mobilize voters, facilitated compromise and negotiation among competing interests, and provided a means for citizens to participate in the political process.
Mm.
However, political parties have also faced criticism and scrutiny, with some arguing that they prioritize partisan interests over the public good and contribute to political polarization and gridlock. In
Mm.
recent years, there have been growing calls to reform to the political system, including changes to campaign finance, laws, redistricting, and voting rights. So, for example, in Texas, there have been such a terrible redlining that they've been doing with redistricting, where they're taking voices from one group and sending it over to another, simply by changing the maps so that one group
Wow.
can win. Yes, one group can win over the other. Going back to the reading. So, regardless of one's views of the current state of politics in the U.S., it's clear that the role of political parties will continue to be a key factor in shaping the country's future. So that's why it's important. I've heard a few people talk about starting a third party. The only reason why that's not a good idea is because we have a two-party system. So it's important, if we are going to vote as one political bloc, that we need to stay on the same page and vote and register to vote under that same party. That's where
Yeah.
we hold our power. That's
Right.
so
I agree with you.
yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just saying that I agree with you. And that's why I was encouraging people to vote Republican, because a lot of the brainwashing that we have received over here in this country is that for whatever reason, they have convinced Black people that we're supposed to vote Democrat
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
And I really feel that that's been the downfall of us, especially since this country was founded as a Republican.
Yeah.
You know?
It was actually the Democratic Republican. And that's why it's so important as voters that we stay informed about the
Yeah.
issues and the candidates, and to exercise our right to vote in every election. So that means register to vote, and continue to educate yourself on who's running, and again, knowing the power of united voices coming together as one
Yeah.
makes a difference.
That's true. JP6 says voting is good, but uniting is the most important.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. However,
That's
I apologize.
all right. I know you can't see.
Yeah, so it is important. However, like you said, uniting with the vote. That's
Yeah,
how you make the difference.
true. I agree with you, because your voice is going to have more power. They really don't give a hoot about you if you're just mouthing out, but you're not supporting the country by raising your voice, lifting your voice as a voter. You're just taking up space here. You
Yeah.
know, you're not contributing if you not getting in there exercising your vote. And they really don't care if you do or not, because they want to be able to steer things how they want. So by us not exercising our right to vote, leaving 45%, and you said that we're more than half of the of the
The population.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot of power. We could change this whole thing with one election.
Yeah.
One
And,
election.
and And political parties have been instrumental in organizing and mobilizing voters, shaping public opinion, and pushing for legislative changes that reflect their value and priorities.
Wow. So we've just talked about the history of political parties in the U.S., and it's clear that they've had a major impact on our country's politics and policies over the years. Yep. So let's see here. Got some more greetings up in here. JP6 also said, when people don't listen, punish them at the polls.
That is so correct. Yes, yes.
And that's why we got to unite too, because more of us saying no makes a big difference. That's how you really punish them. That is so. Hey, and see, Natasha says, evening, Natural Beauty. Happy Mother's Day to you and the chat. Thank you, Natasha. Yeah, we were just saying that, this is going to be Shanquella's mother's first Mother's Day, without her daughter. So, and then to have this slap in the face with no justice 6 months later, like this is, and that's why, I'm, encouraging us to get together to vote, because that's where our power is going to be at We can vote to make sure that Biden is not back in this office to, sit by passively and do nothing, and, let this kind of stuff take place.
Yes,
Nikki
ma'am.
Haley's got, she was the ambassador. She's got the, diplomatic, international type of experience, stuff like that, running the a state, a governor. You had even said that governors make excellent presidents. So, just super, motivated to really bring this up.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe that candidate for you is actually Nikki Haley. Like, she has a strong record of public service and has been a trailblazer actually for women in politics for years. Like, she's legitimately the if
Yeah,
you're going to have a first female president of the United States, she would definitely be the prototype.
right. Well, JP6 says Republican and Democrats don't have our interests at heart.
So here's the deal. That is correct. That's why it's important to come together as one block. So you can switch parties and actually make a change.
Hmm.
But once you come together in one block, that's how you make a difference. So, for example, you have seen how the LGBT, or I apologize if I don't say it correctly. I'm
Right.
Gen X, so I don't know exactly the
I feel
acronyms. But that community was very successful through the Democratic Party by coming together as a political
yeah.
vote
Wow.
block. I mean, and they made changes. They had legislations. Think about it. They homosexuals or the LGBT. I don't. I hope I don't get you in trouble for saying that. But that community can get married now. They have so-called marriage rights, and now they're going into self-mutilation, and it's okay. It's legislated.
Yeah.
It's so that to me shows a proof of
Yep.
a political block, like the power of a political block, and it doesn't matter their interests. The power becomes when you set the standard and say, we have this many people that says we don't want that, or we want
Wow.
this.
Yes, I like that. That's it, because look at, like, you're absolutely right. They have the rights to, use women's facilities.
Yep. Yep.
They have the, like you said, the rights to get married and all, all the, it's just getting more and more and more and more. And it's because, just like you said, they exercise the political block. And that's
Yep.
what I mean. And, JP6. So if, you're, none of it's going to be perfect, but if we can get enough of us to be on the same platform to, have a voice to promote something significant, like, getting what rights for women's
Right.
rights, not to, just be victims of domestic violence and femicides and all these negative things against women and children. Because again, now they're offering for these children, parents are getting their children mutilated. So
Yeah.
these children and women need a voice. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's also, I know I'm back on Nikki Haley again, but I'm a fan as well as you are. And she has been a great example of someone who has worked hard to make a difference in the world of politics. So, like, they say the anti there everyone is against the career politician. However, career politicians are those who have the skill to govern.
Yeah.
They are the ones who have the skill to negotiate and, um, yeah, especially negotiate between like world leaders. And she's a younger woman. I think
Yeah.
you had mentioned something about the
The
you made it
geriatric.
yeah.
Exactly. Y'all, if they telling us that retirement age is 67, how are we allowing someone who is decades past retirement years to run the country, to run a country like America, right? And Biden, his cognitive ability is questionable, to say the least, right? And two, Donald Trump is old also, and he has enough problems going on with his criminal stuff happening under.
Yeah.
And here is Nikki, who did a great job for 2 terms running a state. And it's time for a woman to get in here. For real, a woman who is going to change things. Because if we've been doing the same thing since the founding time of this country, it's going to take a woman to get it back on course. The men allowed men to get the rights to say that they are women and to allow all this stuff to happen. So that's why I'm saying it's super important that we get somebody who's young enough to do the job, but mature enough to understand, the value of age. With age comes wisdom. Linda's Best says prayers for the Robinson family. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We doing sending out the prayers for the Robinsons family. And I'm just hoping this will be my first time on May 19th doing something like this, going to a gathering or political march or what have you. And also I like to take this time to shout out all the people who have been supporting the channel and Justice for Shanquella Robinson by purchasing the merch. I saw some folks have been purchasing, and I got the little fanny pack here. It's got 2000 May 19th 2023 on here. It's for the March Justice for Shanquella Robinson. And one of the reasons why I'm getting political now is because we as people, black women, don't really have a voice. So we need to exercise our rights as being American citizens and be proud and own that, because with that comes rights. So if we still considering ourselves as oppressed and don't have any power, we're giving that power away because we don't believe that we can overcome whatever imaginary obstacles that we may have, because the jar has been lifted. I'm not saying that we weren't oppressed, but if we were oppressed physically hundreds of years ago, the glass jar has been removed, is what I'm trying to say. So if we continue to hold on to the past, we're not going to be able to enjoy and control our future. So super important that we, make sure that we're doing that. Natasha says we definitely have to exercise our voices more, Democrat or Republican. They have to do what's right for the country or a country. Okay, Karen. Let me read that again. I messed this up. We definitely have to exercise our voices more, Democrat or Republican. They have to do what's right for the country. Okay, Karen. Oh, Karen in the chat. I thought you was talking about, how they call those tattling white women Karens. I thought that's what you was talking about. Okay, y'all having y'all little chat over there. All right, welcome to the All Around Natural Beauty RN channel. All right, JP6 says from the Black Independence Party, a form. The Black Independence Party. What do you think about that narrative?
So the problem with that is, again, we are a two-party system.
Okay.
So it's important for us to be able to identify which party will have our best interest at hand, and which party is going to be able to, that we can all join to show our power to vote to support a candidate to actually make a difference. Otherwise, we can form all types of parties. No third party has won.
Yeah.
Except for when the Democratic Republicans changed to the Republicans, and that was like 1780 or something. It was like 1800s or something since that has happened. So historically, this is a two-party system government that's set up. So
Right.
that's why that wouldn't work. So
Right.
we need to choose which party is going to protect our interests. And the Democrats, unfortunately, we have been fooled into thinking that they have had our interests at heart, and they have not. Again, I'm going to use the LGBT community as an example and how they were able to use their vote through the Democratic Party to, achieve a lot of things legislatively.
Yeah, true. And I think too, I kind of agree with you on that. And when I talk about how it was good for us to focus on one petition as opposed to spreading it out, because once you spread it out like that, and like you said, if it's only two parties and we spread it out by, trying to get in these new parties, that's not going to be successful. Then we could have potentially lost our leverage by splashing it out as opposed to all coming together to pick one or the other.
Yes.
Right. And since we can see through the history that the Democrats have been a big downfall for our communities in the past. So if we all decided to unite and join Republican, let's see what happens then, because that is the change, right? So we do know that doing the same thing and expecting different results is, definition of insanity. So all right, so I appreciate that. That's a great great comment in response to the question of forming a Black independent party, right? And so we got Natasha stating more prayers for Shanquilla's family, and JP6 is agreeing with Karen here. Karen says JP6. So with your suggestion, there would be potentially four parties. Okay, so Karen is also pointing out the fact that there will be multiple parties, and again, history, narrators just told us that we are a two-party country over here. So yeah, and two, if we are deciding or hoping for future to make changes like that by adding something else, it's gonna have to start with us joining in on one and then making changes from there. I think you had tapped on that a little bit earlier when you were saying that's how we've changed the fabric of things.
Correct.
Yeah. But also it's important to acknowledge that political parties have faced criticisms and challenges. Some argue that they contribute to political polarization and gridlocks, and that they prioritize partisan interests over public good.
True.
All right, JP6 says it's better than two. I'm sorry, it is better than the two that don't give a damn about our people. So JP6 said that to form the Black Independent Party, it's better than the two Republican Democrat that don't give a damn about our people.
And again, not really, because if we were to form it, we would not have enough of the, what you call it, what's the word where you,
Electoral votes.
yeah, the electoral votes, as well as enough people to make a
Oh,
difference.
to support the party.
There you go. Thank you. To
Okay.
support the party. And so then we'll be on the fringe. None of our issues would get answered.
That's
Period.
true.
Nobody would care about any of the issues for
That's
that
true.
party.
That's true. Wow. Absolutely. And that's why we want to encourage all of the viewers to get involved in the political process, whether it's by learning about issues, registering to vote, or supporting candidates who share your values and priorities. Hey, Lila says, "Hi, RN. I've missed you, and that hair is so becoming. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you." You see, Natasha says, "Right, gender neutral restrooms are more out here. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, because people are now, I guess they're kind of taking the barriers down and allowing people to at least speak and lift a voice. Before people were getting canceled if they said anything or disagreed or even just spoke up about this whole thing. We were being bullied, and like I said, folks were scared to comment because people were getting canceled and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And just to for a one-sided special privileges. All right, so Karen says at JP6, I can't argue with you on that point, but as you said, unity comes first, or division is going to scatter us all over the place. Yes, and two, this kind of goes back to prove what Narrative was saying here, as far as like us spreading it all over by trying to start up these new parties. So it's kind of will be doing the same thing, scattering us all over the place. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think we all kind of working it together here. Let's see. Karen says at Lila, just a good evening. There are some greetings and all that good stuff. Natasha says, yes, Natural Beauty, we need a woman president. Yes. Nikki Haley, I would, I really see that too, because it just feels like the time is now for this to happen. The
Yes.
time is now for this to happen, to have a true woman leader and not a puppet a puppet woman imposter. Yeah, I agree with you. Hey Lena, welcome. What's going on? JP6 says, Karen, we have to figure out what our interests are. True. And then we move on that, because the Democrats don't give a damn about UD. I guess that's going to be us, about us. Yes, the Democrats don't.
Yes, I agree 100%. And I believe that we have, as a group, more in common with the Republican Party than we do with the Democrats Party. So, for example, Black people, we're a lot more conservative than I guess social media would like for us to think. So we
Mhm.
are not all about this transgender stuff. We go to the majority of us go to church. The majority of us just have a lot more in common with the conservative policies of the Republican Party than we do with the Democratic Party. We believe in working hard. We really don't believe in getting handouts and things like that. And the quiet as it's kept, a lot of us are not on welfare. A lot of us are hardworking people who are just trying to get their family,
Facts.
to provide for their families.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yeah,
those,
that's true. It's
yeah,
mostly them that's on the welfare.
exactly, exactly. And the Democrats are giving away money to the corporate executives too, the people that are paying for their campaigns. They're giving away all kind of freebies.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, and the freebies kind of keep you, numb, keeps you numb, and it takes away your motivation.
Yeah. In Rome, before Rome fell, they gave them bread and circus, meaning that they would fill their bellies with free food and then they would perform circuses to entertain them. And if
Mm.
that's not what's going on in America in 2023, I don't know what is.
Ooh, you said it on that one. Lena says both parties are corrupt.
And yes, they are. Both parties are corrupt. Both parties have um, interests um, that are not for the general people, because most politicians are in it for themselves. However, this is a wonderful system that we have, democracy. It really is. We have the best, I believe, system in the world. We have our flaws here and there. However, this is the only country that you really can think of that people, as long as they unite, the majority actually can rule if
Yeah,
they come together in
right.
one voice. And you can see that again with the LGBT community,
Yeah,
how they
good
just
point.
completely changed America.
Yes, exactly. That is so true. That is a great point. I never thought about it like that. Light bulb moment, light bulb moment. And that's why. And see, JP6 says, so keep going around the mountain with these two corrupt and outdated parties. So, what is the best solution then?
Again, the best solution is for us to get together, find our common interest, and find the candidate that will get us closer to our interest.
Yeah, that's true because the LGBTQ it's another issue too. That community, it didn't happen for them overnight.
No.
Just think about it, 10.
They flooded the court systems.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then and you do know that President Biden has a trans kids day or something like that. Like it's a real government. I
Yes.
don't have it. I posted it. On the government website, and I posted it on like my Facebook. But there's actually a real transgender day that an executive order was made by Biden, and it's on the White House website.
Wow.
So if these people who are really the minority, if they can come
Yes.
together to make such changes, just imagine if we did find that
Thank
one
you.
interest that we have as a group, we can truly make a difference. We get
Yes.
behind that candidate. The candidate then becomes our puppet,
Yes.
if you want to
Complete.
look at it like that.
That's facts right there. That's facts. And that's why I'm saying Nikki Haley, because, I think she's like 51 or 52. She's a Gen Xer. And, she's already spoken out on women's issues. And just like you said, once, if we got the numbers. I know someone in the chat, I want to say it was Tanya Carter, had said that, Black women voted Biden in, and that, we could be the reason that he's not voted in the second time. So the same thing here. If we put all our energy together and we get somebody on our side, our president, Nikki Haley, then, we have a platform for our voices and we can just move forward from there.
So,
And
for example, she is one who was strong enough to distance herself from Donald Trump early on when everybody else was licking his boots. She
yep.
distanced herself from him. She was one to was as immediately after that young man went in there and murdered those 9 churchgoers in South Carolina. She signed an executive order to have the Confederate flag removed from the
Wow.
Capitol. It had been years that they had been fighting to have that done. She knows how to make those executive decisions.
Yes, you
She
gotta
has
get
a
stuff
conscience.
done.
She actually has a conscience, is
Yeah.
what I see.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And that is something very pivotal, having that Confederate flag taken down like that, especially in a southern state. So that says a lot for me too, Nerda. I totally agree with you on that. Lena Castellano says it starts at the local level. Sometimes you got to hold your vote if no one is representing you. I feel that you should still just pick the best out of that, but not voting. I don't believe that's good. I think that that is something that they try to condition people to do, especially us Black people, to be like, well, this thing is corrupt, and then don't vote at all, and you missing out on stuff, right? It's just like I said before with the conditioning of the flea in the glass jar. The jar's been removed so we can jump high, y'all. We can jump high, high, high. We can jump high. Karen says, I'm really trying to understand if we're discussing a two-party democracy and the Democrats are being trashed, what's left? I was always taught there are two things you don't discuss: religion and politics, right? Yeah, I wonder why they brainwashed us on that too. Because, like I said, y'all have heard me say that before too in the past. What are your thoughts on that narrative?
So here are my thoughts on that. Yes, sir. Those are two things that you don't discuss at a party, at something polite. However, now it's a time where we are really starting to see our country fall. We really do need to speak. This is a moment of speaking, not a moment of silence, not a moment of kicking the can
Yeah,
down the street for the next generation to handle. Because if we wait that long before we actually speak, we Rome is falling. If we
yeah,
don't do anything about it, it's truly falling. And it's not to trash the Democrats. It is to say that the Democrats have gone so far away from what we all have, the majority of people really want. They are part of the corruption of our society right now.
yeah.
And they are so far removed of what values that I think the majority of Americans really hold. I mean, again, it's not to trash Biden, but why would he have an executive order for a transgender day?
Yeah.
Really? In the state of Washington, on the East Coast, very liberal Democrat state,
Wow.
they have passed laws, and this is all documented. You can Google it. I'm not just blowing smoke. They have just passed some legislation in the state that allows your child to go to someone else's home to pretty much run away if they want to transition and you do not agree with it. They
Wow.
call it a safe haven for the child. Yes. That is not the Democrat Party that I would want to be associated with.
Wow. 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 Yeah. And too, like they were counting the one transgender that shot up the school and unalived 6 people, taken up for the individual, like that was, shame on society that we, drove this person to do that. I was just floored. I couldn't believe like what is this? Is this real? No mention of the 6 innocent people that lost their lives. And at any other no time do we show support for people and hold them, up like that than we do for this small, like you said, a small group of people, small population of people, when the majority of us don't agree with it. So, yes, yes. So, Natasha says, I'm here for it if we come up with Black Independent Party unsophistication.
Unification is
Unification.
key.
Unification is key. Sorry. Thank you. I agree with you. That's why I'm saying, we coming together to unite for the cause. Our voice is bigger when we are together. Lena says they had big money backing them. True. And if we're just starting some small party when, it's the challenge is even just getting us together, the likelihood of us, starting and developing a third party and actually having it make a voice, it may be years down the line. But right now, the upcoming election is where we need to be focusing on, and that's when we need to be, we're gonna, lay it out. Maybe, in the future, list the pros and the cons. List the things that has happened under the Democrats and the things that's happened under Republican, and honestly look at the data and make the choices and the decisions on that. And also keeping in mind the whole, right? The whole. So we can't get everything that we want, but sometimes we have to, take the best of of the worst. JP6 says this LGBT thing goes too far sometimes. Agreed. Linda says, please take the time to hit the like button, subscribe, and share the video. Yes, yes, yes. And because imagine, right? Imagine if we, came together and we had thousands of people on the same page, right? How powerful. That's power in that. There's power in that, right? Yep, power in that. Karen says at Lena, yes, they did, and they let it be known. I missed out something on there. Lila says, right, pick your poison. Yeah, I agree. So my poison is going to be the Republican because I, from my observation, is when, things are more beneficial to people. And like Netta was saying, as a whole, Black people are more conservative than most people.
Yeah, then what social media want to try and
Yeah,
portray us as. We're not all rappers and side
rump
hoes and bitches. Yeah.
rump shakers and
Yeah.
yeah, or baby mamas and
Exactly.
deadbeat dads and
Exactly.
you know. So yeah, and that's why we too need to unite so we can come together and show the positive things about ourselves and stop letting other people speak for us or portray us in lights that we are not in, right? So we have to stop saying, well, it's not me or it's not in my neighborhood, and start thinking about it. Because um, the last live that I did, I had played the one video where they were trying to get this whole man boy love community thing in, where they wanted to make it legal and acceptable for adults to have inappropriate relationships with minor children. And that's where this thing is leading to. And they don't mind that this takes years. Like, they would have made a change back in 1974, and we are seeing the manifestations of it today. Where, men can just say, hey, and don't even have to take any, don't even have to look the part. It can be a man with full beard and package intact and just say, I identify as a woman, and boom, I get to go to the women's restroom. And if I'm a prisoner and I say I identify as a woman, I need to be in the women's prison. I had played the one short that showed 40 male prisoners, biological males, were transferred to women's prisons, and that there are still 274 on a list waiting for that to happen. And if you had told me that, just 10 years ago that this kind of stuff would be happening, which it is. There was one male prisoner that was transferred to the women's prison and got, I believe, at least 2 female inmates pregnant. And also they said that I think it was 68% of those were in prison for sexual offenses, sex crimes. So, what is going on here? And like I said, men presidents, the men have been running the country, and this is where we're at. And that's why I'm saying that I think it's time for our first woman president. And we're about to see some super positive changes here to, heal the earth, right? And women is our nature and stuff. So we need to rise to, we need to elevate to what we need to do here. What we need to do here. All right, got some more questions here, and then I think we've touched all of our things here. If you guys have comments, please, or questions, put them in there. See, Pepsi and Coke, basically. Yes, JPC, that's exactly right. Pepsi or Coke, And sometimes you may have to, like I said, once we, we all putting our stuff together, and I'm happy that we have some, people have questions or some pushback, or maybe not, might be totally sold on the Republican Party. And that's why it's important that we go through the history. I appreciate you, Narrator, for, given the historical facts and historical truths. Because, like I've said before in prior videos, that over here is about math and science and truth, right? We stick to that. JP6 says, and other countries have told America to keep that crap over there. America is a laughing stock. And that's why we need to vote these Democrats out, because they're the reason why we are this laughing stock now. We're trying to, spread all of this stuff. So, we need to go back to, the real old fashioned values, the conservative type of, principles that, that the country was founded on. You're absolutely right, JP6. JP6 says, I don't have faith in a country that can't tell me what a woman is. Word up, shaking my head. What do you have to say on that one, Nerida?
I agree. No,
I
but
know.
seriously though, yeah, that's what, like I keep saying, going back to Rome is falling. And if we don't do anything about it, truly, no one will have faith in this country, not even its citizens. So, yeah, I agree, but I do have faith because I'm optimistic in thinking that we can actually unite, vote this female president into office, and see a real change.
Yeah. Yep. We got to just stay active on it. And also, too, JP6, by not having faith and just, being apathetic is not going to get us anywhere. So once you pick your Coke or your Pepsi, you have to, with a burning desire, go, do something, but to just, lay and wait on the train track, that's not it's not a good idea. So pick one, pick the best one, the best choice, right? So sometimes there's not a true or false or right or wrong. It's the best choice, right? The best choice. Let's see. Lena says they are rewriting your history and taking all your rights away from you. You're absolutely right. And that's why I'm saying we got to join together. If 45% of women aren't even exercising your right, get your rights. 45% join all of a sudden the voting force. We can do just like we did. I saw the black people do when Obama was first running. I had never seen so many black people with a line stretched outside, going all the way to the sidewalk around the block to vote. Let's get that energy put together again, because your rights are at stake here. You need to wake up.
Facts.
And see, Karen says at JP6, you're threading on quicksand. Okay. And see, JP6 said, they can cancel me, don't care. Soldiers died for my rights. Yes. And that's why we need to stick up together and let these stop this whole cancel culture. People scared to speak up because they don't want to get canceled, right? We got to say something. We got to say something. So that's why we got to exercise our voting powers to, take away some of this, power from these people walking around with these delusions. Did I read that? Yeah, I did. Lena says, I meant the alphabet people has big money backing them. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, they do. Because otherwise, how can they have so much power if they are minority? If they didn't have people with the money backing them.
Exactly. And I just recently read an article that Nikki Haley is getting large donations. Large donations. So meaning
Yes.
that she's going to have the right financial support to play in this game.
Good.
I think she's fourth among Trump, DeSantis, and Pence.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so with Trump going through all his little issues and his age too, because I voted for Trump both times, y'all. So I'm not, against Trump. I thought he did a great job on, the first term. That's why I had voted again for the second term. However, he is elderly and he is a male. I really believe that it's time for the female power to be unleashed and to heal the earth, to get the earth back together. It's needed. JP6 says, I'm a moderator. I believe in balance. Thank you so much for that, too. It's super important because I know some of y'all be out there using the wrench as a weapon out there unguard.
No, he meant moderate.
Oh.
He's a moderate.
Oh, oops. Thank you. Okay, because he is a moderator. Thank you, Nader. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see here. Karen says at JP6, which soldiers? Surely you're not talking about the country you said you have no faith in. Natasha says, right there you go. We have to flip it on them, make the candidate work for us, not the other way around. Yes. Yep. Karen says that, Lena Castillo. That's why I was responding to you. Okay, so everybody is doing well here. It says God-given rights. Our God-given rights? Yep. JP says the soldiers did and doing the job. It is political people who have no faith in, who I have no faith in. All right. All right, so we coming in for a landing here. See, JP6, what soldiers? I soldiers like my grandfather and uncles and others. Yep. Yes. And two, we showing respect, for the soldiers. Like I said, I have two XY chromosomes, and both of my sons served in the military. And, I encourage that. And one thing that we have to do is be proud to be Americans. We got to embrace it, because mumbling and trying to, and being separate and not actually participating in the country, it has gotten us nowhere. It's gotten us nowhere. We've got to move past 500 years ago. The glass jar has been removed. Jump. Jump high. And Selena said, yes, Karen, I was responding to RN. Okay. All right, gotcha. Here we go. JP6 says, you guys have faith. We do. We love you, JP6. Yep. We all together here. Wow. Natasha says. JP6 says, I'm not being apathetic. I'm just skeptical. Okay. I'll give you that. I'm coming in for Linda here. Says JP6 says, I'm not called skeptical for nothing. Okay, I didn't know you was called skeptical. Skepticism, what are your thoughts on that narrative?
I'm a skeptic by nature. I think skepticism is healthy skepticism, if you will, because it helps you to question, it helps you to like back up stuff. You're about the math and science. It helps you to identify where there may be flaws or weaknesses in an argument or something. So yeah, I'm all about the skepticism.
Okay. All right. And Nerda has a channel. What's your focus on your channel? Let's tell the people about it while I pull it up, and I'm gonna drop it here in the chat.
Okay, well, it's still a new channel. I started in August of last year, and I'm all over the place. I started off with tutorials, then I started off with relationships. I don't know what the channel is about, but right now, because I have always been a political junkie, I think I'm so excited about this election coming up, and I'm really going to be supporting Nikki Haley. I think I may even turn it into a political channel right now. So yeah. I have under 100 subscribers. So if you guys are interested in learning about politics, Or
Right.
right now, like I said, there's so much on there. Just give it a try. Just subscribe. Help me out. I'll if I get 100 by the end of next week, I'll go ahead and make it a political channel. If not, I'll still continue to find out where I'm supposed to be with this YouTube thing.
All right. I just dropped the link to Narrative's channel and it's pinned here to the chat.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I appreciate the balance that you have brought over, all the value that you've brought over here. You know, with your thoughts and outlooks, and then facts too. You know how I feel about facts, and backing things up with you know, facts and math and science. So yes, please go over and check out Narrative's channel, and you know, she's explains things nicely and have a great points of view on things, right? And able to explain things in a nice, peaceful way with a soothing voice. Let's see, Natasha says, for me, I don't mind discussing politics and religion. If conversations are civil, we all have different opinions and try not to argue with anyone. Thanks for this discussion, RN. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. And thank you for saying that because, you know, like I said, this here is new water for me too. And I never thought that I would, you know, go back on something that I've said before in the past. I've said multiple times, you know, I don't do religion, politics and religion. However, when this case has kind of pushed me into a corner to where I had to come out fighting, and you know, politics is my weapon of choice, and I'm just excited that you know more people are being able to lift their voice and actually understand that this is how they're keeping us separated, is by saying just like how they tell you don't talk about your salary with your coworkers so nobody knows, you know, the same thing with this whole thing, so people don't talk about it, but we need to talk about it so we can be on one accord to make real changes, you know, because nothing's going to happen if we all suffering in silence. And that's one of the reasons why we don't do moments of silence over here. Lena says, we got to go change the political structure. Yes. And the only way to make a change is to be a registered voter, exercise your right to vote, and make changes. Make changes. Like I was saying,
Amen.
the petition signed with registered voter signatures is much more powerful than signatures of just random people. Yep. Let's see. JP6 says, Lena, now you're talking. Yeah, I agree with that. And here is a narratives channel there. And let's see, we're coming in for a landing. Natasha says, right, RN, all you have to do pretty much just put women's clothes on, but it's more than that, needs the parts too. Yes, you're absolutely right. Like that's all they're doing now. It's almost like a joke. And some people are actually calling it woman face. You know, woman face, because they're just coming in with the full beard, and they don't even try to fake the voice. They just, you know, they talking regular, and then they getting off into the women's sports and smoking these women, throwing their hands up in triumph, and you know, acting like they don't have that Y chromosome and all that testosterone that's giving them an advantage. So, hey, Tamika in the house. Tamika says, hello and blessings to all the beauties. Happy Mother's Day. Yes. Thank you so much. And that's our last comment there. Nerda, do you have any closing remarks? What you want to tell the people?
Yes, ma'am. Again, thank you so very much for allowing me the opportunity to get
Yeah,
on
do
here
it
and
more
share.
often too.
Yes, I am definitely down with that. And thank you to the beauties and beautifuls for your comments and your feedback. That was it's been really exciting for me. And um, again, it is important that we come together. think about where we are united, things that we have in common, so that we can really pinpoint a candidate that we can have work for us.
Yes, yes, yes. And Nerda, would you be open to take some questions if I drop the link? If anybody want to come up and ask questions?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Y'all out there, y'all want to ask some questions? I'm gonna drop the link, and we'll give some folks opportunity to clear their good name if that's what's needed here. So drop the link here, or ask questions, or um, all that stuff. So here's the link for the chat to come up if anybody wants something to say. But if you want, we can kind of do a recap because we've been talking for about going on an hour and a half here. The subject for tonight, we were talking about, what were we talking about? Oh, the importance of women's political participation. And why do you think that's important, Narrative, women to participate?
Firstly, that number that you gave out, that statistic of 45% women that do not utilize their vote. And that is powerful.
Yeah,
Just imagine if that 45% that doesn't even vote, that has the ability to vote, actually registers, then actually utilize that voice. I mean, talk about a change. Like, it will really be an actual change, something visible that you could see in such a short time. You wouldn't need the millions and billions of dollars that the LGBT use to do that. And it took years of them being in litigation in the courts and things like that. So that's what you call it, like untapped resources. That's
yeah,
how I see it. And so I think that that's why that is important.
yeah. And too, if we used our voices like that, we could do things like how we see in the news that a lot of this domestic violence with these partners, when women try to leave out of a relationship, these men are toe tagging and killing, unaliving women, especially black women too, one every 5.5 hours, right? And it's because we got laws that allow these men to get out of jail, to bail out, you know, and break restraining orders, or they're not even giving the women the restraining orders. And these men are coming out and, unaliving these women, and not much is happening. Little to nothing is happening. I thought Mexico had a problem with femicide, but we got our own problem right over here with domestic violence. So
Yeah.
if 45% of the women that's not voting actually started voting, we could make sure these men that's putting hands on women and been getting away with all this time, that stuff starts to cease and will stop, because women will be making laws to protect women.
Yeah.
Yep. Super, super important. Super, super important. Let's see. Lena says you need money. Yes, we do need money. We do need money. You know.
And like I was saying, Nikki Haley is I've read where she's getting plenty of donations. Like, she's a dark horse. I really think that we could benefit by paying attention to her and supporting her.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't see her not doing anything for Shanquilla's case, like making somebody be held responsible for it. And I believe like a lot of the reason that Shanquilla's not getting any justice is because she is a woman, and not only a woman but a black woman. And then by this
Exactly.
having such layers of high level people involved in this, so it's making it that much more difficult. So I'm just excited. I think we should, make more plans to have some get-togethers like this, Narrative, to encourage people to vote, and also how voting as a group, like we were saying earlier with um, the block voting,
Yes. Yes.
making a tremendous difference to do that and stuff. Yep. getting back to the topic at hand is that women's voting, all that good stuff. So, okay. Oh, somebody else got another comment here. Let's see. JP6 says, the streets are going to hurt the Cabo Six if they don't lock them up. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you because if they keep slapping us in the face, by ignoring us like that, and voices aren't being heard, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I hear you now.
Okay. Um, I apologize. Yes, see, so JB, yeah, I agree with you. There were some rumors. I saw a little bit of it. Somebody said, that this Cabo Six was getting beat up at a club. But anyway, I didn't even want to comment on that until I got back from Washington, D.C. because, like I said, stick it to facts, math and science, and yeah.
And I am so looking forward to you going so that you can let us see, take us along. Make sure you do a live
Okay.
because, I'm always watching, what you're doing. And I appreciate you for your true dedication. Like you have really supported Shanquella Robinson's plight, and really been a true voice. You haven't been wishy-washy or anything like that since November, since it started, and have taken us along the ride. And I'm looking forward to see what this march is going to do because it is ridiculous for the FBI to even just say what they've said about there's no evidence when
Yeah,
it was so obvious what happened to this
yeah,
young woman. It is so obvious.
yeah, yeah. And that's why I keep bringing us back to the old switcheroo, what they're doing with the word salad to get you distracted with the autopsy. The autopsy, it could be 12 autopsies. It doesn't make a difference because the official document that's issued is the death certificate. And nobody questioned the death certificate when it came out. Shanquilla's people did not question the fact that she had a broken neck. They did not question the fact of the severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. That was never at question. So an autopsy was never needed because the cause of death was listed on the death certificate, which is the official document that was issued. A death certificate is like a birth certificate. It's like a passport. It's like a driver's license. It's official and it's issued. An autopsy is not. An autopsy is not. And that's why Mexico got one that says something different, and the FBI in Charlotte has something that says something different. But it
And
don't matter.
and when did the FBI supposedly do this autopsy?
They said that theirs was done on the 17th of November.
And
Before,
when did her body get back?
I believe the body got back on the 12th,
And she was buried when?
the 19th.
See, that's me. I'm the conspiracy theorist. I don't buy it. I don't buy any of it.
Yeah, me either. And then one of the reasons why is too because I played some videos where back in November they said on November 18th that the FBI had just signed up to look into the case. So I'm like, if
Exactly.
they just signing up to look into the case on the 18th of November, how did they do an autopsy already on the 17th
Yeah, that's
before
crazy.
they, And two, if they did the autopsy on the 17th, why we didn't get no results until May or April? Which one was it? April. Yeah. Why? And the same with Mexico. When Sue Ann supposedly goes out there for this fact-finding mission and comes back with this bogus autopsy from Mexico, which states that they did their autopsy the next morning. They said that they got the body that same night. They got the body on the 29th and on a Saturday night. And Mexico is such overachievers, they actually did a whole autopsy on that Sunday morning.
Yeah,
On a weekend, not only just a weekend, but they main holiday weekend. Somebody got out of their bed to go do an autopsy on an American body that had not even been acknowledged by the family. The family didn't even know where her body was at that time. Who gave Mexico permission to do an autopsy? That's how I know those are lies. And why would they have done an autopsy for what? When they said they ruled out foul play, right? So why are they doing the autopsy? Is if the death certificate it doesn't show or there's questions about it. But Shanquella's death certificate, not only did it list the cause of death, it listed the time of death. 15 minutes after receiving that injury, Shanquella was gone. The good thing that we have is that we have a video that shows the time the injury was inflicted. We saw it being inflicted on the video. The injuries on the video match up with the death certificate, the official document that was issued. So don't get dismayed at what Mexico said on their autopsy. Don't get dismayed by what FBI said on their autopsy. What does the death certificate say? And that's how we going on that. All right, y'all talking again down here. We got see, Alicia says, I just heard Combo 6 was beat up. Yeah, I had heard that too yesterday. It wasn't a real clear video for me. And one of the reasons why I didn't think it was a real deal was because when we see the video of the person that they're saying is Dejanay attacking and taking the life of Shanquella in the video, it's clear that that person is a trained fighter. I don't see them. They unalive Shanquella in 13 seconds. Do you think that person is going to, now all of a sudden they don't have no skills? Yeah. So anyway, I didn't see the video. No, but they didn't play it. I guess there was a link. I didn't go down that rabbit hole because, I didn't want to do that. I didn't have the time to. And like I said, from the little clips that I saw of it, it just seemed, I couldn't see anything. But apparently that they said, and it felt good to know that if that is true, yay, good for them. Not that I'm endorsing anybody to do any violent vigilante stuff, because I have faith. I believe that we about to do this thing. We about to show them when we show up with the numbers. We all swole with numbers. And we voting some stuff out and we voting some stuff in. So yeah, I had heard that too. JPC says, good. Yeah, it is good. It's going to escalate. It is. It is, because how much outrage, and then you'll keep slapping us in the face. It's like, okay, even their autopsies that they both put out there still, just like Shanquella's sister said, they still both show horrible exits. Swelling on the brain. How did that happen? Maybe it was all of those mighty blows that she was receiving from the fist and knee and foot of the person that they're saying is Dejanay Jackson. You see here. You saw the video? JP6 said he saw the video. What's up, Ty Libra? All right, loving the hair. Okay, I see you. Ty Libra in his hair. All right, see, JP6 says, I have no sympathy for evildoers. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you because this was horrific. It was hard, to see and to know that, 6 months later, they're expecting this to die down and get swept under the cover, and for people to just move on. But we in 2023, and people are like, wait a minute, we you think that we're just gonna forget that we just saw her get her neck snapped right in front of our face? We need some justice. We hear the voice, we see the people on there. No, no, this is not gonna go down like that. Natasha says, I agree. At Alicia Renee, I heard that also that Dejanay and Winter got beat up. Yeah, and they said that the other girl, Toya, I think the name is Joya, also got beat down. It was like anybody that's agreeing with the Cabo Six, you're gonna get these licks too. Let's see here. Talib said, I commend your dedication, Queen Beauty. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Right? From way back in the day. Okay, yep. And thanks for your support. Linda says, please, justice for Shanquella Robinson, and tons of hearts and all that good stuff. Thumbs up. Yes, yes, yes. Thumbs up. Let's see here. And we got some waves, emojis, and all that good stuff. Natasha says, yes, JP6, agree. I don't have no sympathy for them. Nerda, what are your thoughts on this here, these Cabo Six people?
Okay, that conspiracy theory comes up again.
That's all
I
right.
believe that they're protected some kind of way. I don't think that they've been beat up or anything like that. I think they're in hiding, and so I feel like this march is going to expose them. Like something's got to give. And again, going back to the whole political thing, as women, our voices oftentimes don't feel like it's being heard. But just something as simple as a mama saying, you know what, my baby is going to get some justice, and her, and then people like yourself that are rallying people and starting a movement. That's to me shows that something is going to happen. But right now, I don't think that they're getting anything. I think it's a bunch of, like you like to say, baloney.
Yeah.
A baloney
A
sandwich.
dry bologna sandwich. Yeah, I think they did that so people could feel like, yeah, they got beat up. I agree with you. I don't think that that was them. I think they're just trying to pacify us by saying, see, look, they're gonna get the street justice. Because otherwise, like, why haven't we heard? We haven't heard no sightings at all. You know, I mean,
Exactly.
it could be that maybe they felt like, enough time has went by and, we can come out of hiding now. But I don't know. I just didn't believe it because of the strategic, the way that you can see the technique that,
Yeah,
Dejanay.
that was used
Yeah.
to, yeah.
I don't see all of a sudden now. I don't care how many girls was out there. We see. And especially now that somebody's coming for you like that, and you already feeling entitled that you was able to go drop a body in Mexico and come back here and be like, I'm free. I don't think that Dejanay would have been like, oh, leave me. No.
Yeah,
I'll break your freaking neck too. You want some
yeah,
of this? And then I'm gonna say that it was self-defense because y'all came at me.
yeah.
I already know how to drop a body and get away with it. You got 13 seconds, you come and step into me. I just don't see all of a sudden where did she lose the skills? No.
Like, did she lose his, did, yeah.
Because she already showed us a highly skilled executor. Let's see. Diane says autopsy was bogus from FBI. DOJ
Department of Justice.
Justice. Thank you. Evil people for sure. Keep it hot. Justice for Shanquella. Bernarda Robinson. Yep. Let's see. JP6 says, "What's up, Libra? One of my favorite signs." I like Libras too. I get along good with air signs. Air and fire is good. All right, we got some more greetings for Todd. Hey, what's up, TS? TS says, "Everyone that sent emails and letters need to send again Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to the Department of Justice in DC prior to rally. Request case be open and move to another district." Y'all hear that? I agree with you, TS. I agree. Yeah, we need to keep the energy around because it is dipping down as far as it's dying down. Or they're trying to put the glass jar on us and make us think that it's dying down, that people are going, oh well. But every time whenever I try to let it go, people come into the comments, they start sending, commenting on old videos and stuff and thanking me or encouraging me not to quit and all this stuff. So that's what makes me know that people ain't ready for this to go. They want justice for real, and they're not stopping until justice has been gotten. Let's see. Lena says that video has a lot. It has a lot of evidence for show. Yep. Let's see. JP says, "Oh, you mean the video of them supposedly getting beat up?" JP6 said, "Did you see I'm sorry, Karen asked JP6, "Did you see the video?" And JP6 said earlier he had saw the video. Taliba said, "I hope all is well with you, JP6. All right. Sugar. What's up, Sugar? Sugar said, "Good evening. One of those in the fight this week is reported to be trans and Winter's brother. Folks are questioning if the trans could have been in Cabo. God will reveal the truth." Okay. I'm so grateful that you said that, because when this thing first went down, within moments, people were saying, "Hey, that's a man in there beating Shanquella." People were able to see with their eyes that they saw the body frame of an XY chromosome putting hands and unaliving Shanquella Robinson, right? And then they tried to say that it was a girl. They actually even put out a picture of a girl, of a woman. So I'm with the conspiracy theory with you on this one there. Here's my conspiracy theory. What if, since we saw that it was a man in the video putting hands on Shanquella, what if, that was the trans, and that, when people were saying, "Dejanay is a woman, she's had a baby." What if there's really a lady Dejanay that they're trying, since these transgenders are trying to erase women, what if they're trying to do all this wicked stuff and then blame it on a real woman and have them take the blame for it?
That's one to think about.
Okay. I've been wanting to say that now, y'all, for some months, but I was like, I ain't gonna throw that one out there. I keep that to myself. But that's really been my thoughts, because I was like, why did they all of a sudden try to exchange? And I even did a video where I broke down how those are two different people. They had two different body structures, two different body frames that, one is a woman and one is not. Right?
I remember that too.
Yeah. Because I had to go do the actual science and the biology on it, because some people actually do have a hard time to be able to distinguish between the genders, especially when some of them are trying to present as something else. That's why I always say it's important to see that skeleton. The foundation can't be changed. So it's certain things about the XX chromosome that's different from the XYs. And that's because women are designed to carry children, and that is created at conception and cannot be changed. Yes. And I want to say, Sugar, is when people started to say, "Hey, that's a man." That's when all of a sudden everything went mute. They stopped talking about it. And I really believe it's because they are protecting this class of people.
I agree.
Okay. What do y'all think about that? Get in the comments. Let's see. Lena says a lot of transformers in that video. Yeah. And so y'all really believe that, some real women actually was able to jump some transgenders? Come on now. Come on. And I don't think that women would even feel comfortable trying to fight a transgender because we
Yeah.
know that that's a man.
Yeah. And the strength is completely different. Just no if, ands, or buts about it. I wouldn't fight one. That's for sure.
Hmm. You know? And that's why, like some people that was trying to say, oh, it shouldn't make a difference if it's a transgender. It shouldn't make a difference if it's it shouldn't make a difference. It makes a difference because of the unfair advantage. That's the difference. Taliba says, I need to see that recent fight video again. Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I did, the little part that I did see, it didn't look, I mean, I couldn't, some people said they saw it multiple times and they were able to identify Dejanay and Elise. And then they were saying that that was Joya. I just don't believe that, women would be like, yeah, we about to give them some smoke, right? Knowing that one of them is the darn transgender that just killed somebody with their bare hands within seconds. Who's stepping to Dejanay?
Not I.
Who is stepping to Dejanay? Come on now, y'all. Come on. Taib said exactly. All right. And see, JP says, yes, I saw it. And people said they saw it. Libra, I'm well. Okay, so y'all doing some chatty chat. See, Taliba says the alleged parking lot fight will not equate to Shanquella's demise. Exactly. Like I said, I think they just gave us that so people could feel like, yeah, the Cabo Six got this. To me, it just didn't add up, right? Because especially the coldness that what's her name, Winter had when she got back over here and was like, Quilla did something dumb when she was drunk, and that's how that started. Like no compassion, no care about this. And then the fact that, Dejanay did the moves on there, and 13 seconds later, job done. So I don't see people saying, yeah, I'm about to go over there, and you ain't bringing no smoke that way. No, you ain't. Natasha said, exactly. There will be no rest for the Cabo Six. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I'm, hey, if that's it, but I also think that, Narrator might be right. Like they in some type of protective custody hidden off somewhere because, this was the first sighting that we've seen or heard from them since December. See, everybody's right on. Libra, see, Linda. Hey, Linda. Linda says, I have seen the video too. They got whooped by all those girls. One of the girls in the fight said Dejanay started because Dejanay said they were recording them. Dejanay keep talking junk. Oh, okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay. All right. JP6 says Elise got handled by the bouncer. All right. What's up, Christina? So Fly said we could also see that big package. All right. So what are your thoughts on that whole thing, narrative?
In fact, that big package is on my YouTube channel in a short form.
Oh, is it? Okay, we're gonna go check that out really quick, y'all. On that note, you said
that is something that I identified early on,
okay.
where she walked through the villa and
Uh-huh.
she was repeating after
Oh, the keep an eye
Dejanay.
part.
Yeah,
Okay, here we go,
yeah,
y'all. We about to
and
play a short here. Christina Soulfly said we could see that big package. All right, let's go check it out. Narrator actually has a video here. It's a short, so just hang tight. Oh, you need to see.
it's probably pretty far down.
I got it.
Um,
I got it right here. I'm about to share
oh,
the screen. Right here. There we go. Okay. It's a short, so all right, here we go. It says she was about to expose her friend. Remember the other day when we were talking about the exposure was some of the reasons why they could turn violent, the threat of being exposed. The fact she's walking around looking for y'all and y'all plotting in the room like y'all so effing weird, bro. All right, look at here, y'all. Look at the hand placement, right? See how far down on this here waist? This is an XY chromosome skeleton. A female, an XX, put the hands on the hips. They're going to be up here on the waist to support the low back. An XY, a male, is going to have longer arms. So this is the position. This is a way to be able to tell if this is a male or a female. Right here. Look at these long arms. All right. Uh-oh. What? So here is a package print here. It's kind of blurry to see, but package print dropping all around here. Wow. And this is the one where Shanquella's, no, when she's walking around. And look at this person hopping in here like he's trying to warn. You gotta get here first. What? Oh. Ain't it all. But that's there. And like I said, we have where's Nader? Oops.
I'm here.
Okay. we have placed Narrative's link for her channel. It's in the chat. It's actually pinned to the top there. So thank you, Christine. I appreciate you, for being honest there about that package. Yep. And on some of my videos, whenever, broke it down, I pointed out whenever I see something that shows, what is there, I point it out because it's very necessary. It's good to do that. JP6 says at Karen, there's no rest for the wicked. True. And Lena says, bingo. Karen says at Linda Best, did you hear that the person in the white jumpsuit is pregnant? Oh, she did look like she had like a little belly on her. Hopefully he wasn't out there fighting pregnancy. That's what I'm saying, y'all. We just need to, get the right thing going here. Karen says, you're right with that point. And say, I sent you an email. Y'all got some private stuff going on here. So JP6 says, trans women have the strength of men. Yes, because they are. They are. Yes. And that's why I'm saying I don't see any, biological woman, coming up there to confront a trans person because, Anyway, Diane says, no, the trans got handled by the security guard, and that's when Dejanay walked out of the fight like quick. Yep, I saw it. Okay, like I said, I'll I don't know. I saw, I didn't really see, I didn't see it. I saw a video, but it was so, I didn't see nothing on this. What I'm trying to say, the video that I saw didn't show anything. Alicia Renee 704 said this sister did call Dejanay she in an interview. Yes, the sister did. Yeah, I actually had a video where she said she, he, whatever the F it is, right? And in the beginning, they called her a transgender. They charged with femicide, which we know is the killing of a woman by a man. So why would they come up with the charge of femicide if it wasn't a male perpetrator? Yep. Karen says, okay, I'll check it. Thanks. Haliba says, if they are protected, that's insane. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just the other day, y'all was playing those videos where, they having rights, one is on the video threatening, saying that, if anybody try to stop him from going into a women's bathroom, they're going to be in a bad space. I mean, it's just horrible. It's really horrible how protected they are. Because that's when things got hush hush on Shanquella's case, is when people start saying, hey, that looked like a man. All of a sudden they started saying, oh, well, they said that because Dejanay kept taking her wig on and off. So when has a wig being on or off ever made a person be like, hey, that's a man with the short hair, right? Because we know that the hair is not what tells your brain that you're looking at a man. Let's see here. Karen says, Diane, wasn't Dejanay in the jean shirt and shorts? Oh, y'all still talking about that fight? Taliba said, like and subscribe and share. Yes. All right, Dejanay is a man. The plot thickens. Yes, it does. Let's see. Hey, says, hi, y'all. What's going on? I ain't seen you in a little minute. Let's see, Natasha says, have a blessed night, Ari, in the chat. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Thank you. And Mother's Day happy to all of the mothers in the Hidi. It says, I think it was fake. Lena says, I think it was fake. Okay. Thank you. I didn't want to say nothing because I know some of y'all be so sensitive. The truth hurts. But yeah, I don't believe it either. Yeah. Their energy is bad with this case. I agree with you. All right. TS says, I don't care about a parking lot fight or drama. Unite and focus on forwarding emails and letters to Washington, D.C. Help me here. It slipped my mind.
ASAP, as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. That'll be a statement in numbers. Yes. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Yes. All right. Here go the last one here. Denise says, hello, family. Pay attention to the transformer that was Dejanay. See there? And I noticed that they admitted that there was a transgender there, but then they switched it over to make it seem like Dejanay, is a real woman and was not the transgender. So, yeah. There, do you got any closing remarks to say out here before we get out of here?
No, ma'am. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I do want to tie it back to the political block of women that really we have the power to make a difference. if we unite our voices together. And it appears that, the trans community might be the reason why we actually make a difference. Like that could be our uniting voice to get behind one candidate, because I do know that Nikki Haley. I think I read an article where she um, penned a letter to the CEO of Disney or something like that, because
Oh yeah.
they are putting trans stuff into like their TV shows and things like
Yeah.
that. They're just exposing children to this whole, what do you call it? Delusional thinking.
Delusional thinking. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And so I still want to go back to, I know that you are under the umbrella of Justice for Shanquella, but I do think it's important that we raise our voices politically, so that not only will we get justice for Shanquella, we'll have justice for all women,
Yep.
because this trans community, I mean, they have relegated to us and gave us a new name.
Yeah.
We're
Cis women.
cisgenders. We're this, we're that. We're not
Yeah.
just women. We're natural born, real
Chest feeder.
women. Yeah, yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. And
I found it hard to believe, and I've seen videos and shorts where they're putting frozen ketchup sickles in their rectums to simulate a cycle. I mean, and then
yeah, it's
one was
pretty
at
sick.
a fertility center talking about a uterine transplant. I'm like, why are these doctors supporting delusional thinking when we are trained and taught not to support delusional thinking? If someone comes in and they have anorexia, we are not trained to say, hey, look, they think they're fat. We got to agree, they have the right to, if they think that they're fat and they identify with fat, you know, and they don't want to eat, we have to accept that. We have to let them mutilate them, but we don't do that. We put the person in rehab. We try to recover them. We try to bring them back to reality that they are not fat. But why do we, disregard all that stuff and support delusional thinking, letting them believe that they could actually get and receive a uterine transplant? You don't
Because
have the square footage for it.
yeah, and because they had a political block, a
Oh,
political voting block.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Sugar says, and they are allowed to compete against women in sports. Not right. Yes, Nikki Haley actually speaks out against that. So that's why I was saying, by supporting Nikki Haley, she's going to be a voice for us. She's going to be a voice for us. You're absolutely right on that. You're absolutely right on that. Absolutely right. Yeah. So, and just a recap, we've been talking about what's the title of our stuff? Talking about the power of women, the importance actually of women voting, because we got the statistics that shows that 45% of women aren't exercising the right to vote, and we know that that is a lot of power that's left on the table. So if we just even tapped into half of that, we lifting our voices, we all together, we powerful. We coming in there demanding justice. We gonna be able to get it because we have a voice. We have a voice. JP6 says a man should not be in sports against women. Exactly. But what if they have always been implanting men into women's sports, and that's why they're trying to make it legal so now they can be out in the open with it, right? Because these transgenders is not anything new, right? This has been going on, for forever. It's just now that they're bringing it out. But anyway, that's going to be another whole long story. And I've been trying to say we about to bring it in. Let's see. Lena says, as women, we got to call them out. Yes, the world is sick. Yes. And that's why I say over here, we don't do moments of silence. We have to speak. Moments of speaking. You're absolutely right. As women, we do have to call it out. We got to call it out. JP6 says, if you have testicles, you are stronger physically than women. Yes. And just like just at birth, when your skeleton, is being formed, the XY chromosome is going to give you an advantage with thicker, stronger, denser bones, longer, stronger, and you're going to have a straight back and pelvis. So you're going to be faster. You're going to be faster, stronger, faster, all of the above. So, yeah. Hey, LT Jones, long time no see. Says, hello, all around natural beauty, mods and chat. It's good to be back. I've been ill. Okay, I'm glad you're feeling better. I don't know why parents are letting their children decide their gender. God decides before they were born. Thank you so much, LT Jones, for making that statement. Yes. And that's the other thing, too. If you wouldn't allow the parent to agree with delusional thinking of a child who was anorexic, how is it that a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old could say, I'm a boy when they are a girl, or I'm a girl when they are a boy, and be hurled off to doctors to be giving drugs that they're going to have to be on for the rest of their life, and to sign them up for procedures to mutilate their bodies that can never be put back together again? How is that even right? And that's why we have to lift our voices to not only be a voice for women, but for children too. For children too. They're going up to schools now, elementary schools, and they have this what do they call it? A story time with these not the transgenders, but it's I can't think of the name. But anyway, these transgenders are out there doing these story times at these elementary schools, gyrating and twerking and in lingerie, all kind of explicit sexual stuff that they wouldn't allow women to go up to the schools and twerk and smirk and do all this stuff. So why is it okay for drag queen, drag story time, something like that? That's what it is, drag. Yes. So it's okay, and then to, be overly sexual with our children and stuff. So, yep. Yeah. And see, JP6 says, God made only 2 genders. All that other stuff is delusional. Yes, it is. XY or XX. Can't change that. And that's why I always say that if they found skeletal remains, they can tell from the skeletal remains if it is female or male, and that is by the pelvis. That is different because females are designed to carry babies and men are not, period. So there's no space in your body to carry a uterus. And 2, for the transplant to work, where is it going to be transplanted to? How are you going to nurture? But you don't have the space. And what is it going to hook up to? You're just going to put a uterus in there? Right? How is it going to connect? Your body doesn't even make enough blood to nourish a fetus. They're just making a guinea pig out of you, right? They're making a guinea pig out of you. Yes. Delusional thinking. They're making sick and hurt people. Yes. Yep. That is true. All right. Denise says, and if that was the person that fought Shanquella, then a man fought her. They can give you breasts, etc., but you are still stronger. Exactly. Still stronger. and you got a longer reach. The arms of a man is longer than a woman. And because they have the straight back and the straight pelvis, they are able to thrust so they can be faster. Women walk with a tilted pelvis, so you're not going to be faster because you're always trying to keep your balance up. We weren't designed to be fast and strong. We wasn't made that way. You see here. Denise says that's why they adopt. Yes. All right. And on that note, I want to thank everybody for coming out for Justice for Shanquella Robinson. The May 19th is approaching soon. And like I said, it's 8:30 a.m. in Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, at the White House. And I will be there broadcasting live, and hopefully we'll be able to get close enough to some people to ask some questions, to hug some necks, to show support. And, just like TS was saying, get those emails out there, keep making the noise, keep making it hot, keeping it hot for Shanquella. And I'm see y'all in another video. And I promise to do some more slices so I can, put it out there. I think the more videos that we have going out there, people coming together, let them know that we ain't stopping on this. JP6 says, see you on the 19th. Woo woo. All right. I see you out there. Yep. Come on up to the Alabama Attributed RN and say hey. Let me know who you are and all that good stuff. All right, love y'all and see you soon. And thanks again, Nerida. And we'll have to have you back so we can have a continuation with this so we can continue to rally the women to lift your voice, make sure you register to vote, and we all in agreement with our candidate who will be our president, to where we, have something that they'll be, she will be trying to assist us and to make sure our needs get met. All right.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you're welcome. Good night, y'all. See y'all soon. Peace and love.